500 more. You have to keep in mind you lost a bunch of units, so I can't. So I have about 4 or 500 more minerals and probably about 200 more gas. I mean, not 200 more, probably about 500 more gas. And so because I expanded, um, and I took my gases later, that's that's the biggest reason why I'm so far ahead in terms of my units. Okay, so the next trick is when should you move out? I guess would be the next question. In general, you would look at your upgrades and you say, I have my upgrade finishing, and I want to move out so that when I get about this far across the map, my upgrade would finish. So in that way, if they come out and meet my army, I can attack, or I can just dive in and attack. So in this case, your upgrade here is going to finish in 6 seconds. So your army should have been about right here. Maybe come out to this high ground right before, and then you could move down right as your upgrade's finishing. That, in traditional terms, that's when people are moving out. Um, I'm working on my level 2 upgrades, and then my attack is based around those upgrades. So I have level 1 weapons going here, level 2 shields, and I might say, okay, I'm looking at this. 120 seconds is 2 minutes, and then usually I just add 30 seconds to that. So I might, if it's more than 120, so I say, okay, 50 plus 120 is 170. So in 2 minutes, I want to move out because it's a little bit more than 2 minutes. So 14:20 is my target time to attack.
Add-on.
So
Complete.
I'm just going to
Upgrade.
speed up a little bit,
Field depleted.
and show that's about. I think that that was the upgrade I was looking at, deciding to move out.
Additional supply depots required. Our allies are being attacked.
Oh, you got attacked. So I ended up just going over here. So again, 14:20 is the time that ideally I like to fight. But I ended up fighting a little bit earlier because they had so many units and stuff here. But my +1's finished, so I can go ahead and take that fight anyways. When you click on their units, they didn't have +1 yet. Okay. I'm building. So the rule of thumb is that you usually go to 8 barracks. So if you look at the base, right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. On the 8 barracks, when you're playing versus Protoss, normally you put 5 tech labs and 3 reactors. So I have 1, 2 tech labs, 3, 4 tech labs, and this would be a tech lab, right? And I have my 3 reactors. 1, 2, 3. And that's what I'm going for. The reason why you need so many tech labs is because you're going to produce Marauders and Ghosts. And what you want to trade on your army whenever you trade is you want to keep most of the Ghosts alive and most of the Vikings and Medivacs alive, and you just want to trade out as much bio as you can. If you don't lose any Ghosts, and you don't lose... If you lose some Ghosts and you don't lose any Medivacs, then you're building... Then you're using your gas almost purely on the Ghost and on the upgrades. And if you do lose the Medivacs, then you want... And you don't lose the Ghost, then you want to basically be using whatever it is out of the starport. Okay, so so we took that fight. I should be starting my upgrade. It's a little bit behind here.
Add-on complete.
Your third base, in terms of the timing that you take it, usually I like to throw it down once I have, like on one base I have 16 and on the other one I have 12.
Complete.
Or I wait if I see that they expanded and it looks like they're going to attack. And then in that case, usually I wait until I've started both my upgrades and then I expand like I did this game. So you can see I'm starting my +3 armor, my +2 infantry attack, so I have a really beefy army. And I'm going up to weapons and cloak right now. The cloak will be really nice.
Are being attacked.
Right here. Okay, now when I move out, in general what you want to do is you want to like kind of move as fast as you can. So you get to one ridge. So I would want to move as fast as I can along here, send one unit slightly forward and run my units all around up here. And then from here I want to basically establish that I can make it to here without getting rushed from both sides. So I went up here to the high ground to where I could take a good fight. Then I went straight to this sort of choke area where if they attack through, I have this nice big open area. But if they chase, then I can just run back through here, and if they follow me through here, I have a nice big open area. So that's in general sort of how you want to micro the Terran army. Here I get fungled, so it looks pretty nasty in terms of a fight. But even then, I don't lose near as much as they did. Once you have your
Our
8 structures
allies
with
are
your
being attacked.
add-ons, and then your Ghost Academy, usually that's when you start adding your command centers. Usually you add
allies
one,
are
then you add
being
another
attacked.
one, you add another one, and about every 2 minutes you add a command center, and you want to scan about every 1 minute, kind of see what they're doing, what units they're building after you have it. You can't get more tech structures, like you can't get the armory, the starports, or the starports. You can't necessarily get all these upgrades until you have all 8 gases. So in general, like I don't really shoot for these structures until I have 8, until I've taken my 4th base, and then I can go ahead and start shooting for those and taking the gases, so that I can get units. And that sort of is the flow of it. Is start with my first base. I get a second gas if I'm gonna tech or if I'm gonna get fast upgrades. Otherwise, I don't get a second gas. And then I usually get my second gas. If I expand, usually I get it about halfway through when the factory's finishing or when the engineering base is finishing, and then from there, usually I get my next set of gases after I've started building my next 2 barracks and have both my upgrades started. Usually, when you build your starport, you build it right next to your factory, and you build the add-on with the factory, the reactor, and usually you want to start the reactor sometime before this is about halfway done, so then it finishes by the time this finishes and you can just move it over. I think that's about it in terms of what you need to know. Uh, the you have lots of energy here, and this is only half saturated. Until this is saturated, you don't really need to build a lot of anything actually. And I think it's good to build like a secondary wall and a primary wall like this. But yeah, like you blocked most of your units, and that's just a minor thing. So those are sort of the rules of thumb that I would say in terms of playing Terran versus the other matchups. How I would construct my build orders. Getting your gas early means that you're gonna get banshees or upgrades with some sort of timing that you're trying to hit. Getting your or tanks. Getting your gas later means that you're going to get you're going to expand sooner, and you're going to have the capacity to get a lot of your buildings up, but it means you have less units early on, less tech early on. So, thank you, man, and I hope that helps a little bit, kind of understand how to set up your build order, how to move your army about the map. Like I say, I usually go from high ground, send a unit out, and then when it gets out of ways, I send the rest of my army. I choose my timings such that when this is about 30 seconds from finishing, I usually go to this high ground point or to this high ground point, and once my upgrade's about finished, then I kind of go some angle that I think I can get a good attack on. That's how you choose your timing and your attack angle. So, good deal. Have a good night, man. That's it for now.